get understanding. We most definitely gonna have to do this today because we are finishing Exodus chapter 4, and I want to lay some foundation for Exodus chapter 4. You know, I don't like this little picture down there. I like to be in the middle. So let me bring that up. Alrighty, so this is Exodus chapter 4, the beginning of, I think it's verse number 1 through 17 that we went over last week. I'm going to get straight to the point because when we do this next week, oh, it's so much more that I'm going to be adding in here to help those who watch the short form of this. So it's better to watch the short form and long form because sometimes there's different information in there. Chapter 4. Moses doesn't believe that speaking with the elders that they will believe him, and he needs insurance. How are these people going to know that you sent me? My words is not enough. So Jehovah give him insurance. Give him 3 signs to demonstrate in front of the elders. A rod that turns into a serpent. His hand is leprous as snow. Then he can reverse that. And water turns to blood. 3 signs. And that was not enough for Moses. He still was focusing on himself and looking at his faults. So Jehovah said, don't worry about that. I will be in your mouth and I will teach thee what thou shouldst say. This is what Jehovah said. Now go back down to my inside. We do understand that help that Jehovah offered was his Holy Spirit, his spirit. So Jehovah was offering him the Holy Spirit, which he does receive. And we will continue to learn that as we continue on. But Moses, after all of this, still rejects the calling. And he wants Jehovah to call someone else, and Jehovah does. Not to replace Moses, but to help Moses. Moses was looking for a replacement, but Jehovah gave him an aid. And of course, in Exodus chapter 4, and the beginning from verses 1 through 12, we was focusing on the prophet like Moses, Yeshua. Yeshua turns the water to wine. Yeshua defeats the serpent, and Yeshua was healing all forms of diseases. You will see a lot of this shadow picture, because remember, Moses is a shadow picture of Yeshua. So you got to find that out. Where do you find the Messiah as we continue through the book of Exodus? Now, I do have some questions here, but the questions is not for say for Exodus, it's actually for us. Have you heard of the Holy Spirit? How does Moses' calling resonates with you? So these questions will help you as you complete the check-in at the end of Exodus. After Exodus chapter 5, there's a check-in. So those questions will kind of help you start thinking about that as you get there. Of course, I'm going to leave my sheet up for a moment to give you opportunity to add in some additional information into the comment box, your word study that you have done so far, cross-reference, whatever that you want to share for Exodus chapter 4 as we continue to finish Exodus chapter 4.